Picture this. You're sitting in your car after another disappointing day. The radio is off, your phone is silent, and in that stillness, you whisper a prayer you've whispered 1,000 times before. God, when will it be my turn? There are moments in life when everything feels suspended in time. Quiet, almost too quiet. You've prayed until your knees hurt. You've waited until your faith feels paper thin. You've done everything the Bible says to do. And yet, that breakthrough you've been believing for still hasn't come. But what if I told you that this silence isn't God's absence? It's His preparation room. What if that waiting isn't punishment? It's positioning. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 unmistakable signs that something divine is about to shift in your life. These aren't just signs. They're sacred confirmations that God is saying, I know you're ready now. Stay with me, because if you're watching this video, it's no accident. First, you start losing things and people. It happens suddenly, doesn't it? Friends who used to call every day suddenly go silent. Relationships that felt solid begin to crumble. Doors you thought were permanently open slam shut with a force that takes your breath away. Your first instinct is to panic. God, what did I do wrong? Why is everything falling apart? But here's what the enemy doesn't want you to know. This isn't punishment. This is pruning. In John 15:2, Jesus doesn't whisper this truth. He declares it. Every branch that bears fruit, He prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Think about a gardener with his prize rose bush. When he cuts away the dead branches, it looks brutal from the outside. But the gardener knows something the branch doesn't. What's being removed cannot sustain the harvest that's coming. God isn't removing people and opportunities to hurt you. He's removing them because they cannot go where He's taking you. You're not being abandoned. You're being aligned. Second, you feel uncomfortable in places that once felt like home. Remember that job you used to love? Now walking into that building feels like wearing clothes that are 3 sizes too small. That friend group that used to energize you? Now their conversations feel shallow. Their dreams feel small. You sit in the same chair, in the same room, with the same people, but something in your spirit is restless, saying, you've outgrown this place. That discomfort isn't rebellion, it's revelation. Romans 12:2 doesn't suggest this transformation, it commands it. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. When a snake outgrows its skin, it doesn't apologize for being too big. It sheds what no longer fits and emerges new, stronger, ready for what's next. That inner friction you're feeling, it's not you being ungrateful. It's God stretching your spirit beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone, because He has something bigger planned for you. Third, you start craving solitude. Not loneliness, but sacred solitude. There's a difference between isolation and divine withdrawal. Isolation makes you feel forgotten, but sacred solitude makes you feel found. You begin to crave time alone, not to hide from the world, but to reconnect with the voice that matters most. The noise of other people's opinions becomes unbearable, but the whisper of God's voice becomes clearer than ever. Even Jesus, the Son of the living God, needed this. Luke 5:16 tells us, Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. If the one who could calm storms and raise the dead needed solitude to align with the Father, how much more do we? In those quiet moments, away from the chaos and the crowd, God recalibrates your heart. He reminds you who you are, why you're here, and where you're going. That pull towards solitude isn't antisocial, it's prophetic. Fourth, doors start opening. that you didn't even knock on. This is where it gets supernatural. Suddenly, you get that text message, that unexpected phone call, that opportunity that makes you say, "How did this even find me?" You didn't apply for it. You didn't network for it. You didn't manipulate or scheme your way into it. It simply showed up, like it had your name written on it before you were even born. Because when you're aligned with God's will, He doesn't just open doors, He moves mountains, parts seas, and rearranges circumstances to make way for your destiny. Revelation 3:8 isn't a suggestion, it's a promise. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. Notice it doesn't say you placed the door there. It says He placed it there. Favor will find you in rooms your feet haven't stepped into yet. Opportunities will chase you down hallways you never walked. Fifth, you have unexplainable peace in the midst of uncertainty. This might be the most powerful sign of all. Everything around you might still look exactly the same. Your bank account hasn't changed. Your circumstances haven't shifted. The problem you've been praying about is still there, but something inside you has fundamentally changed. You're not anxious anymore. You're not lying awake at 3 a.m. trying to figure it out. You're not scrolling through your phone looking for answers in other people's highlight reels. You just know. Deep in your spirit, you know that God is working. Philippians 4:7 calls this the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding. It doesn't make sense to your mind, but it makes perfect sense to your spirit. That peace isn't denial, it's divine confidence. It's God's way of saying, "I've got this handled. You can rest now." Let me tell you something that will change how you see every delay, every detour, every disappointing moment you've walked through. You're going to see it when God knows you're ready. Not when you think you're ready, not when you feel ready, but when your heart, mind, and spirit are aligned with the version of you God created. That delay, it wasn't rejection, it was protection. That pain, it wasn't pointless, it was preparation. That dream that still feels distant, it's growing roots underground. One day, it will burst forth with undeniable glory. Jesus said in John 13:7, "What I am doing, you do not understand now, but afterward, you will understand." You'll look back and see every closed door made space for the right one. Every no was a setup for a better yes. And if this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Subscribe. Be the light someone else is waiting for. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Hold on just a little longer. God bless you.